Jessica. She's got the Naugatuck Valley Health District, so she's huge and all the different things that she can be talking about. But we've asked her to focus in on the seniors today. People are living longer. We all know that. And as I mentioned earlier, between 2015 and 35, the Valley senior population is projected to increase by 39%. This is the greatest percentage gain of all the different age groups. It was interesting, but I guess not surprising, that between 1995 and 2010 nationwide, that 10% of the adults that were 60 to 69-year-olds and 12% of the adults that were 70 and older were actually taking care of their parents. Right? Okay, when I'm 80. Okay, so they were taking care of their parents. A lot of this has to do with the cost of health care, I'm sure. And I was surprised and alarmed, one, about the cost of health care, but also about the quality of life for the adults, the seniors who are taking care of the other seniors. Mm-hmm. So if you could give us some insight on that.
Thank you, Sharon. I know it's amazing. The senior chapter really has a lot of wow kind of data and statistics that jumped out at me, and that was certainly one of them. When we talk about what's on the horizon for our seniors, two main things come to mind. We've heard cost for affordable housing, sustainable housing, but also suitable housing, especially for our older adult population, as well as the cost of health care for this specific population. In 2018, the cost of a home health aide to go to a house for 44 hours per week was $57,000 annually. For around-the-clock care for that person to provide in-home service was closer to $217,000 per year. So when we're talking about, our Valley residents who are already having trouble meeting basic needs and affording basic services that they need to get by, adding on this cost of healthcare to meet those basic needs is just, it really wowed me. On the flip side, when we look at nursing homes and adult daycare, it's also very expensive. We have seen that semi-private rooms in nursing homes cost about $145,000 per year, and a private room is closer to $160,000 per year. So we're talking about a big financial commitment just to have them live comfortably and have the attention that they need to get by every day. So for me, to see that home health aid cost is rising about 2 to 3% annually, and our nursing homes is about steady or even decreasing in some cases, was pretty fascinating. We do have about a quarter of our Valley senior population living alone at home. So we know that while there are older adults who are taking care of their parents, and there are households who are inviting their seniors to come live with them and take care of them, we still have a growing population of those who are self-sufficient or who are living home alone now, but maybe might need those needs later. So for me, the cost of the healthcare associated with the senior population just for basic needs, not including any other kind of chronic condition or other conditions that they might be facing, was certainly interesting. When we talk about housing concerns, I mentioned, we need suitable housing for seniors. So nationwide, about 3/4 of senior adults do say that they want to stay at home. They don't want to go to a nursing home necessarily. They don't want to be taken out of their homes where they have grown their families and made their memories and feel comfortable and have all of their belongings. And 67% of our Valley seniors have lived in the same place for 20 years or longer. So that's a lot of people that have provided roots into our community, and rightfully so, they want to stay here. However, when we look at those seniors in that population, about a quarter of them who are 55 and older feel like their homes aren't suitable to stay in and age in place. So this could be maybe their living spaces, their bedrooms, their restroom facilities aren't on the first floor of their homes. They have to go upstairs in order to access them. Maybe it's their hallways or their doorways are narrow and they can't fit chairs or walkers or get through them comfortably. Maybe they have steps to get up into their entrance. So there's a lot of things that we look at that make it more challenging to stay in the home, but also contribute to things like falls and other health complications. So those would be my two kind of main concerns moving forward.
Yeah, I was really surprised in the falls section. It's actually in the health section where it was talking about the falls and the cost and the expense of falls. Can you, because we all hear about somebody who fell and broke their hip, somebody who fell and hurt their leg, whatever it is. Where do you hear these statistics?
Yeah. So according to the CDC, 1 in every 4 older adults, 65 years and older, will experience a fall each year. 20% of those falls will contribute to a serious injury, a fractured hip, injured leg, a traumatic brain injury, things that are very difficult to recover from in long term, things that prevent or cause other challenges. And a single fall can average around $30,000 per fall. That's a lot of money for someone who, may have just taken a fall or a spill in their house, and who even knows how long they might be there before they get attention that they need. I certainly have experienced that with my own grandmother. She fell and didn't have a way to contact us, and it was scary, and it was a long road to recovery for her. Falls are among the 20 most expensive medical conditions out there. You don't tend to think about that, or at least I didn't. So, we have to look at ways to address that in preventative care, but also, being able to treat them properly and appropriately. So when, the health department, other agencies, Griffin Health, when we think about prevention with seniors, we think about fall prevention programs. We run a Matter of Balance program, 6-week program that provides training to this population and allows them to feel more confident in their movements and to have, just that peace of mind that I can do some exercises at home, or I can create a sense of more comfort and avoid a fall if I can. We also, have to look at the rehabilitative services. So after that fall does happen and that care, that immediate care is provided, do we have the rehab services available? Do we have transportation to get people to those services, or do we have people going to the homes and doing rehab at home with these populations? So there's prevention, and then there's also that response and recovery aspect to it as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I think when it comes to the senior population, the committee said, this advisory committee said, they need their own chapter. We want its own section on this topic of seniors, because we're all gonna get there, one. And the other is that, as Jessica was talking about the expense of, a fall or being in rehab, and then you're talking with Patrick about the cost of health care and how expensive it all is going to be. Those are things that we really need to pay attention to. And the more that we can be on the preventative side of our health, the better off we're all going to be.